Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. So what I have for you guys today is a brand new series that is coming to you today, guys. So what this series is going to be all about is pretty self-explanatory, really. It's in the name of the title, but what it's going to be me rounding up all the recent transfer rumours that are circulating around current championship clubs. So if you would like me to turn this into, like, let's say like a weekly series or something like that, make sure you do hit a like, and also as well, leave a comment in the comments down below as to what do you think your club needs to do in this transfer window coming up. So what positions do you think you need to strengthen in, and what players would you also like to see come into the club as well? And I must say to you guys as well that this video should be coming out on the Friday, and then on Christmas Eve tomorrow on Saturday morning will be when my championship score predictions comes out for the Boxing Day matches. So make sure you stay tuned for that. They will be out tomorrow morning. So going into the first transfer rumour, we have one that's quite close to my heart, really. We have David Nugent, who could potentially be on his way to Leeds United from Middlesbrough on a loan. Now I say it's quite close to my heart because, of course, David Nugent being an ex-Preston player, the things I'd do to get David Nugent back at Preston, oh my word, that would just be immense. But currently he is being linked with a move to Leeds United on a loan, and I actually think that for both parties this move would probably work out quite well. He's currently not being selected for the team in Middlesbrough. He's rarely making the bench now, to be honest, with Middlesbrough, and I think that Leeds United, you know, with the promotion push they're currently going for, I think with one more top quality striker like someone like David Nugent, who's a proven championship goal scorer, that could really catapult them up the league and see them go up this year. So, however, this could be halted thanks to the next transfer rumour, which is about yet again another Middlesbrough striker. So another Middlesbrough striker, this time being Jordan Rhodes. Now he is actually being linked with a lot of championship clubs currently, and the two who are most prevalent in actually going to sign him are currently Sheffield Wednesday and Aston Villa. Now, of course, this could have actually quite a significance on the David Nugent transfer to Leeds United. So if Middlesbrough were to turn around and say that Jordan Rhodes wasn't needed and they were willing to sell him, chances are they're probably going to want to keep David Nugent in and around the squad until they find, you know, two replacements for them two strikers. So once again, both of these transfers could actually affect each other, but going to either Sheffield Wednesday or Aston Villa, once again, that would just be massive for them, to be honest. You know, with the proven quality that Jordan Rhodes has in the Championship, that would be absolutely excellent for a club like that. Fans of either of them clubs, let me know down below what you think of this potential transfer rumour, because that could be a massive signing. And then for our next transfer rumour, guys, we have Callum Paterson, who is currently a right back playing for Hearts, who could potentially be on his way to Derby County. Now, I know that there's definite interest in this one, and once again, this is a transfer which I think could be quite realistic, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see this one actually go through. I think he's a player who's really has outdone himself this season and in previous ones as well. I think there's quite a lot of interest actually in Callum Paterson in the summer from quite a few championship clubs, but now we are approaching January. Once again, that transfer rumours are coming back in, and it seems like Derby County are going to be the front runners in actually signing him, and it has been said that Hearts are going to put a 7-figure price tag on Callum Paterson, and that's the only thing they'll be willing to let him go for. But other reports have suggested that Derby County are going to be offering 500k for his services. But I think coming into that Derby County squad, I actually think he'll be a really good addition. I think what he's shown in the Scottish League, you know, obviously it's going to be a bit of a transition going from the Scottish League into the Championship. It's a bit of a step up in my opinion, but I think if he can show what he's done in that league, he'll be an excellent signing for Derby County, and just will do really well to bolster that squad. And you know, once again, another team going for promotion this year, a sign like that could be pretty big. And then for our next transfer rumour, guys, we have a player from Preston North End, the club I support, and that being Bailey Wright, who could potentially be on his way to Bristol City. And this transfer rumour really just caught me off guard, to be honest. I mean, it was no surprise that Bailey Wright is going to be linked with other clubs in the January transfer window. The reason I say that is because his contract is expiring at the end of the year, and from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he's really going to be signing a new contract. I mean, all our other players who have a contract running out at the end of the season have been extended, you know, all the first team players. So the fact that Bailey Wright hasn't had his contract extended yet would suggest that he possibly will be looking for another option in January. And the club which has come up has been Bristol City. Now, to me, this is just a really funny move, to be honest, because I don't really understand it from Bailey Wright's perspective. I understand it from Bristol City's perspective because I think that he's a solid centre-back for the Championship. With his contract expiring at the end of the season, he'll probably only cost around 500 to 750k, so he wouldn't be the most expensive option for Bristol City. But in terms of Bailey Wright, going from Preston to Bristol City, it's not really a step up, it's not a step down either. No, you know, I'm not disrespecting Bristol City in that aspect, but to go from guaranteed first team games in Preston to going to Bristol City, who are currently obviously lower in the Championship, to, you know, just playing the same role that he currently plays at Preston. That doesn't make sense to me. I know that Bristol City will probably be able to offer a little bit more in terms of wages, but really, I can't see that being too much of a motivation. I doubt they'll be offering that much more to, you know, massively sway his opinion. So, for me, I think that Bristol City will be interested in January, but can I see Bailey Wright wanting to make that move? I'm not really too sure. I'm not really that confident that this move will actually go through. And Bailey Wright has actually been linked to a few other teams in the transfer window as well. He's also been linked with some Chinese clubs as well, which they were sort of like the first transfer rumours to come out of this deal. And to be honest, I could see that really. I think they'll be offering, you know, just a ridiculous amount of money to get him. And you know, if that's the case, you know, that's the way football's going these days. But it would be a shame to lose Bailey Wright from a Preston North End perspective. But if he has decided that he's not going to sign a new contract, I'd rather we sell him now in January, get a bit of money for him, then we keep him for the whole season, and then we lose him at the end for a free. I think that would be pretty pointless, really. So if I was Preston and he's not going to sign a new contract, I'd get rid. But if he is willing to sign a new contract, you know, I'd definitely be looking to keep him. But bit of a funny situation. I'd love to know what Preston North End fans think of this one in the comments down below. And then for our next transfer rumour, guys, we have another player whose contract is expiring at the end of the season. So transfer rumours around him are obviously going to be rife at this point in time, and that is actually about Henri Lansbury. So currently the captain of Nottingham Forest, who aren't really having a great season this year. They're actually having a very bad season, you know, to be honest, from what was possibly expected by them at the start of it. But like I said, currently being their captain, he's now being linked with a move to Birmingham City. So of course, Birmingham being under new management of Zola, he'll want to bring in, you know, some of his new players to bolster their promotion push for the rest of the year. And from Birmingham's perspective, once again, I can definitely see why they would be attracted to a player like Henri Lansbury. He's fantastic at this level in the Championship, and he would add quite a bit to that Birmingham midfield. And of course, Henri Lansbury does need to make up his mind now as to whether he's going to get that contract extension or not. I know there's quite a few things going on behind the scenes as to possibly why he's not signed a new contract yet, with obviously the owner situation needing to be sorted out. But if that's not sorted out soon, he could be on his way to Birmingham City, who that would be a great move for them, definitely. And then our next transfer rumour, guys, we have a massive one coming out of the Championship. This one is being for Scott Hogan, who looks to be on his way potentially to Reading in January. And what a signing this will be for Reading. I mean, currently the figures that we're talking about here is 9 million, and that shows intent of all anything, you know, from Reading. You know, there's a lot of clubs vying for promotion at the end of this year, and I'd say that probably Reading wouldn't really want to be expected in that top 6 compared to all the other sides which are currently in there. But if this is true, their owners really are showing ambition by going out and getting that proven Championship goal scorer in Scott Hogan. He's been fantastic this year from Brentford. Obviously, he would be a massive blow to them if they are to lose him. But can you really turn down 9 million? I'd love to know what some Brentford fans think of that. I mean, the strikers that Brentford have had over the last few years, I mean, they've had players like Andre Gray, now Scott Hogan, before that Clayton Donaldson. So I'd be pretty confident that you might be able to replace Scott Hogan. But from what he's brought to your side, you could be in trouble if you are going to lose him. But from Reading's perspective, this would just be the cherry on top of the cake. I mean, they've been fantastic. Reading's midfield has been great. And really, they are just lacking that one striker, I think, which could see them move on to that next level. So Scott Hogan would be a fantastic buy for Reading and could see them all the way to the Premier League. And then our next move, guys, we have another loan offer here. This time, we have Newcastle being involved in one. They've been involved with quite a few transfer rumours, but this is the one which I thought I would pick out. This is one being for Fabian Delph on a loan for the rest of the season now. I'm sure that a lot of you guys are aware that John Joe Shelby has received a 5-game suspension, and if this transfer offer was to come in and work quite swiftly to get Delph in, he'd obviously be a good replacement for that. But to play for the rest of the season, you know, a player of Fabian Delph's quality in the Championship would just add to the endless amount of talent that's already breathing from this Newcastle squad. And that could be the player, you know, a player like Fabian Delph, just to add a bit more to their midfield, could be that, you know, final player just to see them over the line and cement them really in first place, with obviously Brighton currently chasing them. But Fabian Delph has also been linked with a couple of other Premier League clubs, so clubs like West Brom are also reportedly interested. So that could be a bit of a stumbling block if he is wanting to play Premier League football for the rest of the season. Newcastle might not be an option, but Newcastle have also been linked with Robert Snodgrass and also Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who both of them once again will be fantastic additions to the already amazing Newcastle side. And then for a transfer which, to be honest, I don't really see this one happening. This one just sort of caught me off guard as well. We have Frank Lampard going to Brighton. Could you imagine if this transfer actually came through? To me, I don't think it'll happen personally, and but I thought I'd pick it out because it was quite a funny one when I saw it. But if this did happen, I kind of hope it does happen, to be honest, because I'd love to see Frank Lampard playing in the Championship. That would be absolutely fantastic. And also as well, reportedly that Frank Lampard did recently have a meeting with Chelsea manager Antonio Conte, and he did state his desire to continue playing football. He feels like he's still in good shape to continue playing, so a move to Brighton could be on the cards for this one. Personally, I don't see it happening, but if it did, that would be fantastic for the Championship. And next up, we have a player who's been linked with a lot of Championship clubs, this one being Ryan Tunnicliffe, currently playing for Fulham, and he's not really been in the picture for Fulham this season, so it's understandably so that he's going to be linked with a lot of other Championship clubs. And once again, he's a player whose contract is expiring at the end of the season, so it's looking very likely that he's going to be leaving Fulham in this transfer window. And currently the top 3 clubs who are interested in are currently being Ipswich, Queen's Park Rangers and Preston North End. And coming from a Preston North End perspective, of course, he's a central midfielder. I'm not really sure that's the position that we're currently looking at, to be honest, so I'm not sure if I can see the logic behind Preston signing him. I do think that he'd be able to add something to each of those clubs, so it'd be an interesting one and definitely one worth keeping your eye on. So I'd love to get some Fulham fans' opinions on what you've thought of him. Obviously, he's not really played this season, but last season, what do you think of Tunnicliffe? Let me know down below. And then for our final transfer rumour of today's video, guys, we have Johnny Russell, who could potentially be on his way from Derby County to Brighton, who currently sits second in the Championship. Now, when I look over that Brighton squad, I don't really think they're going to be too busy in this transfer window, because I don't honestly think they need too much. I think their squad is already very good, but if a player to come in was like Johnny Russell, I think he could be that player that which just tips them over the line, gets them in that automatic promotion place and cements that for the rest of the season. I think where this transfer rumours come from as well is that Brighton did state a desire to actually sign Johnny Russell in the last transfer window in the summer. I think they had like a £4 million bid rejected for him in the summer, but obviously with Derby now having a new manager, Johnny Russell this season hasn't been the best for Derby really. I think, you know, it's been like Tom Ince stealing the limelight for Derby this season so far, but Johnny Russell hasn't been the best, so I don't think it would be the biggest loss for Derby. I think they would be able to replace him, but coming into a team like Brighton, I think a player like Johnny Russell could shine in a team like that, so could be a very good addition for Brighton. So there you have it, guys. That will wrap it up for this week's edition of the Championship rumour roundup. So like I said, guys, if you would like to see this becoming like a main series on the channel while the transfer window is open, make sure you do leave a like on the video, then I know to do more of them, guys. But apart from that, that will now wrap it up for this video, so thank you so much for watching. So like I said at the start of the video, make sure you do leave a comment in the comments down below as to what you've thought of all of these transfer rumours which I've currently said to you, and as well as that some of others which you've seen going around, and as well as that who do you think your club needs to sign in this transfer window. I'd be very interested to know. But apart from that, guys, that will now wrap it up for this video, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I always tweet before I upload the video, therefore you'll never miss a video ever again, guys. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.